Welcome to this video, A House Divided, the Civil War and the Unfinished Work of Reconstruction. We will explore a narrative of national crisis, transformation, and reckoning from 1861 to 1877. The Union broke when Confederate guns fired on Fort Sumter. This attack, after President Lincoln's plea for unity, began the Civil War, forcing states to choose sides. The conflict was asymmetrical. The Union, with the Anaconda Plan, aimed to destroy the South's economy and divide it using the Mississippi River. The North vastly outnumbered the South and held superior railroad and industrial resources. In the East, the conflict became a bloody grind, with early Confederate victories, such as the First Battle of Bull Run. General Robert E. Lee's daring leadership contrasted with the cautious command of General McClellan, leading to a war of attrition. In 1863, the tide turned. Lee's invasion was halted at Gettysburg, the largest and bloodiest battle of the war. Simultaneously, Grant's victory at the Siege of Vicksburg gave the Union control of the Mississippi River, splitting the Confederacy. The Union victory at Antietam gave Lincoln the political standing to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. This executive order declared all slaves in Confederate-held territory free and transformed the war into a fight for a new birth of freedom. Under General Grant, the North waged a relentless war of attrition. General Sherman pioneered, quote, total war, destroying civilian and economic resources in his March to the Sea through Georgia to break the South's will to fight. The war ended when General Lee surrendered to General Grant on April 9, 1865, at Appomattox Courthouse. The cost was immense, with 620,000 lives lost and the Southern economy destroyed and left in ruins. Reconstruction began after Lincoln's assassination. The main conflict was between the lenient presidential plan of Lincoln and Johnson, focused on quick reunification, and the stricter congressional plan, which demanded greater loyalty and protected civil rights. Congress passed 3 landmark amendments. The 13th abolished slavery, the 14th defined citizenship and equal protection, and the 15th gave African American men the right to vote. The Freedmen's Bureau also helped build new lives out of slavery's ruins. Gains for African Americans were met with fierce resistance. Southern states enacted black codes to limit freedom. Extra-legal terror, enforced by groups like the Ku Klux Klan, sought to violently suppress civil rights and enforce the old social order. By the mid-1870s, Northern commitment to Reconstruction faded due to economic downturns and political fatigue. The Compromise of 1877 removed federal troops from the South, allowing Redeemer governments to systematically dismantle Reconstruction reforms. The failure of Reconstruction led to an unfinished revolution. With federal protection gone, gains were dismantled, replaced by Jim Crow laws and systems of oppression, like segregation, disenfranchisement, and economic bondage through sharecropping. The Civil War preserved the Union and ended slavery at an immense cost. Reconstruction established a constitutional foundation for equality, but the failure to enforce these principles led to a, quote, lost peace and the era of Jim Crow. Frederick Douglass captured the essence of the unfinished struggle for true equality with his, quote, slavery is not abolished until the black man has the ballot. Historically, the Civil War centered on slavery's expansion and survival, exacerbated by sectional tensions, economic differences, and debates over federal power. Key events like the Missouri Compromise pushed the nation toward conflict. The unresolved conflicts about freedom, citizenship, and power from this era continue to shape modern debates over racial inequality, voting rights, and federal authority. We should consider, how did the causes of the Civil War, especially slavery and states' rights, shape conflicts that still exist in American society today? The Union's victory ended slavery, but raised new questions. Emancipation did not automatically grant formerly enslaved people equality, safety, or economic opportunity. The struggle to define equal citizenship persists today through civil rights movements, key court decisions, and ongoing debates over systemic racism. Let's explore. In what ways did the outcome of the Civil War fundamentally change the meaning of freedom and citizenship in the United States? The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments marked a constitutional revolution. They abolished slavery, guaranteed citizenship and equal protection, and protected voting rights regardless of race, aiming for a more inclusive democracy. Today, these amendments are the core foundation of modern civil rights law and remain central to Supreme Court cases involving citizenship, voting rights, and equal protection. Consider this question. How did the Civil War amendments attempt to reshape American democracy, and why are they still central to legal debates today? Reconstruction aimed to integrate formerly enslaved people, but fierce resistance, including black codes and Klan violence, and the ultimate removal of federal troops, undermined these vital efforts. The collapse of Reconstruction ushered in Jim Crow segregation, leading to long-term racial disparities that continue to profoundly influence wealth, education, and political power in America. A final question to reflect on: why did Reconstruction struggle to achieve lasting racial equality, and how did its failures shape the next century of American history? After Reconstruction, various narratives emerged that shaped public memory through monuments and textbooks, some downplaying the role of slavery and emphasizing reconciliation. Ongoing debates over Confederate monuments and curriculum standards reflect continuous struggles over how the Civil War and Reconstruction should be accurately remembered and understood. Finally, how do the legacy and memory of the Civil War and Reconstruction continue to influence modern debates over history, monuments, and national identity? Thank you for watching this video.